Hi, welcome to Sun's Corner. We've got a special edition. We've got 1 hour of the most important, crucial, raddest, awesomest, bester conversation you're ever gonna have. You know what it is? Yes, people. Eye floaties. We're gonna get 1 hour special on eye floaties. Let's get into it. Floaties. Just, you go to catch them and you can't catch them. Why can't you catch it? Why can't you catch the eye floaties? I know everybody, this is a topic that people don't want to talk about. So we're gonna get into it. We got a 1 hour special and it's trying to catch that eye floaty. You've been there. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's the weirdest thing. Let's see what science has to say about it. Yeah, see, eye floaters, this is what they say. You see their retina has something to do with their retina there. Small dark shapes, squiggly weedy, blah blah blah, clumps of cells, blah 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 blah, blah blah blah. Floaters can look like spots, threads, squiggly lines. That's what I get. I get squiggly lines all the time. Yeah, so I haven't got the cobweb ones. But reality, it also says that it's from mental disorders. It means you're mental, to be honest. Yeah, and then we got this one here. This is the Latin name for it. Mydesioposia muscae ventilentis. That's easy. Couldn't remember that. I think eye floaties is the way to go, right? But here, they also say here as well that the cobwebs, seeing the cobwebs, imagine that. It's like when you're on acid and you saw those cobwebs. I always thought that was just the acid, but I guess that's just the natural eye floaty thing. Interesting. Anyway, so let's continue. Yeah, now we see what the science had to say. Now we see what the spiritual leaders, spiritual masters think of eye floaties. Yeah, okay. It says here, eye floaties are the essence of what is not, but what is, wrapped up in an onion like an areca, like the areca is the eyeball. That's what it says there. And you should be one with the eye floaty because it is what it is not, right? See through what is, and then you will find out what is not. That is. Yeah, it's going to take me a while to comprehend that, but it's pretty deep. And I think you get the idea that these spiritual masters, they're very advanced when it comes to eye floaties, and they're passing this knowledge onto us. I used to think that my eye floaties was a reflection of my glasses, but when I was younger I didn't have my glasses, so I realized the eye floaty wasn't that. It didn't cause that because I didn't wear glasses, so but I would think now that's what it is, but no, I still get eye floaties and they move, and it's dangerous. Like, if you're driving and you get an eye floaty and you start chasing it, well, you could go off the road and kill a kitty, maybe kids, babies, bunnies. I know around here there's tons of bunnies and sheep, right? Don't get distracted from your eye floaties. If you're driving and you get an eye floaty, just don't try to chase it. Just keep looking at the road. Pull over if you have to. Try to chase it down, but don't follow it while you're driving. That's just, like I said, it's dangerous. You can kill a lot of objects, right? And I think it's illegal, actually. Distracted driving. It's like being on a cell phone. You're talking when you're texting while you're driving, but eye floaties is even worse. It's like you're all over the place. right? Like I said, these are the topics we don't talk about and how important it is. Even for an airplane pilot, he can't follow the floaties either, unless he's got it on autopilot. Or I guess some of these new Teslas, you can, yeah, you can chase the iFloaty because they're self-driving cars. Like you don't need a dude to drive it. So I guess that, and same with planes, I guess too, right? They can chase their iFloaties because they got autopilot. So there are certain circumstances where you can chase those iFloaties, right? Riding a bike is definitely not a good idea. Actually, on Salt Spring here, it's not a good idea to even ride your bike. People drive crazy because half the time they're chasing iFloaties. Okay, we're going to take our first call here. I forgot how to use this phone thingy on here. Okay, let's do it. Hello? Hey, how's it going? You're on Sun's Corner. We're talking about iFloaties. Do you have any comments or anything? Who am I speaking with, first of all? Roger? Huh. That's a funny name. Roger that. Anyway, Roger, do you have anything to say about iFloaties? Hello? Okay, there you are. Do you have anything to say about iFloaties? Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying. So, for the people that are watching Sun's Corner right now, Roger here, his wife is gonna leave him because he's distracted with his iFloaties, right? And he's not paying. Is that how it goes? Yeah. Okay. So she's gonna leave him because he's distracted with his iFloaties when he should be watching her all the time. Well, I'm not really a therapist. I'm kind of psycho. I'm a psycho. I guess a therapist. I therapize a lot of people, including my wife. And if you ask her, without asking her, she'll tell you that I'm a really good psychotherapist. I therapize a lot of people. And what I'm going to suggest to you is just leave her, because she's got to explain to people that you left her for iFloaties. And that's going to make her look really bad. It's going to be hard for her to find another boyfriend. If you just left her for iFloaties, that's not even a hot secretary or anything like that. It's just iFloaties, right? It's an embarrassment to her and her family. So that's what I suggest. I'm pretty professional, Roger, and I hope this helps you in some way or another. But I suggest just leave her. Forget it. I'm a professional at relationships. Okay, Roger, thanks for your input, and you take care and you have a good day. Yeah, remember, just ditch her. Yeah, okay, have a good day, Roger. There we go. Yeah, okay, we're gonna take another call here because we're getting pretty deep here, so okay, we got one on the line. Hello, welcome to Sun's Corner. Who am I speaking with? Michael, how's it going? We're talking about iFloaties, and I'm curious if you got any input or any questions. Okay, I hear ya. Oh, yeah. Hey, dude. Oh, okay. For the people listening in Sun's Corner, just hold on a sec there, Michael. People who are listening on Sun's Corner, Michael is saying that the iFloaties is telling him to rob a bank. But what I think, because like I was saying in my last in my last call, that I'm a professional, I'm a psycho, and I therapize people all the time. And what iFloaties have nothing to do with like things like robbing a bank or pillaging or raping or anything. I know that I've heard rumors that people have been influenced you know, like gender and everything on from iFloaties, but at the same time, we have to take responsibility if we agree with what the iFloaties are saying or not. We're coming into a gray area now where we don't quite understand if iFloaties are making us do these things. And if they are, you got to stop yourself and say, hey, I'm better than that. I don't need to rob a bank. Can I ask you a personal question, Michael? Do you have lots of money? Oh, you're rich. Oh, okay. Well, it's understandable to want more. I personally always want more. That's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to make this 1 hour long podcast. I'm trying to get famous for my iFloaty documentaries and just iFloaties. I'm preaching it, everything. But what I'm going to tell you is I don't think it's a good idea to actually rob a bank, right? Maybe iFloaties told you to do that. We don't know yet. I'm still trying to work it out. But what I got to say to you is just don't do it. Just hold off and see what the iFloaties might calm down and tell you to do something different, right? Okay, I'm gonna have to let you go, right? I gotta let you go here, but I want you to have a good day, and yeah, don't rob a bank, dude. You got lots of money, you know, just chill for a while, and I'll keep you updated. Just keep in contact with Sun's Corner and see how your progress goes, because like I said, I therapize all kinds of people, and I'm hoping that this conversation helps you, well, first of all, not go to jail, but second of all, understand what iFloaties really tell people to do or don't tell them to do. It's like when you see this video, you got to look back and see the spiritual aspect of it. Again, the oneness is breathe and take care of yourself. Okay, right on, Michael. You have a good day. Well, there you heard it. A disclaimer. This is a disclaimer. When you see me in the video smoking what appears to be weed, it's not weed. It's prop weed. What a prop weed is essentially is just weed rolled in these special prop papers, and yeah, it's just prop weed. I'm playing a character that smokes weed, like it's just acting, right? I'm a professional stunt dude. Basically, you've got to be a stunt dude to pull this off, right? But you gotta be kind of an actor. Like iFloaties, that's reality, but I still acting a role as a stunt dude doing things. So just know, for the FCC, anybody concerned about me smoking marijuana on this video, it's just prop weed. So that Michael call was just a reminder that iFloaties have a major influence on people. Like, as we're digging into this, we're starting to see, and how I know this was people have been knowing that I've been trying to work on this 1 hour long podcast on iFloaties. So I've been getting people calling me, emailing me, and one lady in particular emailed me. She wanted to be anonymous. Anna Hamilton of Vernon. She got a gender change because of the iFloaties. Now, hear me out for a second. What we're learning can happen is, let's be honest. iFloaties are masculine, right? They're always in the eyeball. They take up the whole eyeball. Let's be real here. Dudes are bigger, right? So, your iFloaties are bigger, right? And dominant. So women tend to take on a dominant role. Yes, women get iFloaties, and people don't know this. But when they do, they tend to take on a masculine role because of the iFloaties are so dominant, right? So anyway, Anna, whatever, Vernon, remember, she's anonymous. She sent me some pictures that I thought I would just share with the world, because it shows the transformation, right, on what iFloaties can actually influence somebody to do. Like we heard Michael, even even Roger with his divorce because of the eye floaties, major role in people's lives. Well, let's check out these pictures here. Okay, here she is here. Now, the first thing we see with this picture, I'm not trying to body shame. Body shaming is for something that you cannot help. But she can help that shirt. Like that's a Walmart shirt. My mother used to dress me in shirts like that. You know, I think that's her biggest problem here. If she lost the shirt, you know, boom, this is what would happen. And this is what did happen. But because of the eye floaties being dominant, she didn't need the affirming surgery. It just naturally happened because that's the way it's supposed to be. Eye floaties have this influence, and we're digging in really deep here. But look how happy she looks. As soon as she got rid of that shirt, her life changed, and you know she got like a little tummy tuck there. That was just natural. She didn't even have to work out, right? She's grateful, and she's hoping she can change lives. But remember, she's anonymous, so eye floaties are not political, right? They have political tendencies, like let's say with this geography thing. Eye floaties are different in different countries. Even in our provinces in Canada, the eye floaties tend to vary on how they act because when it's warmer, you know, they can move more freely. But when I'm watching politics on the TV, I'm watching our Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, my eye floaties start giving her. They get all pissed off because they're living conscious beings. They're aware of their surroundings, and they know chicken shit from bird shit to, you know, moose shit. That's what we're doing, kind of moose shit. And they know the difference between little shit, medium shit, and super big shit. And like the US, they got butterfly floaties right now. And Trump even was in an interview when he brought this up. After I'd done this segment on the video, I saw it. And I thought, you know, I'm going to photo screen that interview. Yeah, see, it's right there. The whole butterfly floaty thing. You know, they're the leading authority on butterflies fluttering right now with the eye floaty situation. Kind of wonderful. Anyway, the eye floaties, they're wonderful, fluttering butterflies in the wind. You get places like Scandinavia, Finland, Estonia, you know, those areas where it's super cold. Their eye floaties just freeze right in the center. They're just like little dots because they can't grow. It's too cold. Same with parts of Canada in certain provinces, like every province basically, their eye floaties freeze right in the center, and they don't. So your eyeball can go any which way, but you can always find that because it's frozen. Where I'm here now, Salt Spring, it doesn't freeze, so our eye floaties can move freely, and they only get pissed off when we're watching Justin Trudeau. So that's the whole thing with the eye floaties. They're not political, but they're living conscious beings, and they understand bullshit, and that's just the way it is, and they react differently unless they're frozen, right? Yeah, so the whole political thing, especially with Canada, like I've just realized that for a long time Canada's been fighting, and I think the root cause was the eye floaty situation. um, like this right here. So my father died, and my grandfather owned an antique museum, blah blah blah. My father just recently died, and I inherited all these old newspaper articles from like the 1800s and stuff like that. But here's a significant one that has to do with eye floaties, and it's a war within Canada. What's the date of this? This one is March 9th, 1912. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Okay, so this is the Calgary eye opener, and I just ripped it. Okay, but that's okay because it can be taped. It's no big deal. So what it is it's tobogganers, and it looks like demons inside a parliament building, and this is what it says. Remember, this is the Calgary eye opener. So this is Calgary talking to Toronto. Those idiotic moral reformers of Toronto recently made themselves more ridiculous than usual by calling upon the police to prevent tobogganing on Sunday. They didn't like tobogganers. They're a bunch of fatheads. Read that. It's for real. 1912. Now, the writing's too small, so I'm not going to really read the writing. But I'm sure Toronto felt like, in their defense, oh, I'm ripping it out. Oh well. Duct tape is really well with these old magazines. So in Toronto's defense, I know it would say in here that it's because of eye floaties. They didn't want people tobogganing with eye floaties because they can't really see where they're going. It's a public hazard for people in the way. Like a toboggan can run off the road and kill a kitty, babies, right? Bunny. Remember, we're talking about bunnies. I'm sure Toronto's got bunnies, or maybe they don't because it's a big city. They probably don't, but they've got people, and it's dangerous. So I can understand Toronto banning it, and for Calgary, because they love tobogganing. It's Alberta, it's cold, it's got snow everywhere. They don't really have hills, it's kind of like little hills. So when I reference Alberta with just little hills, just so we understand, that's all they got. Because the foothills west is BC. Let's just get that straight. Right, Banff, Athabasca, all that area, west, BC. Like you guys get, Calgary, and you get, Three Hills, you get Lethbridge, Medicine Hat. Like who wouldn't want Medicine Hat, right? Like it's a wonderful place. You guys have such awesome territory. Just leave from the foothills out, so therefore you guys just have hills, little hills. So they kind of toboggan, but I think Toronto might have like full-on mountains where they're like, or maybe down their skyscrapers and stuff, they toboggan down or something. I don't know why they banned it, but it had to do with eye floaties. Is probably what it says. The print's too small, so I can't read it, so I'm just gonna do what every other news media like myself. I'm kind of like the media. I'm broadcasting, I'm promoting, I'm telling people about eye floaties, so I'm influencing the mainstream people with this. And I know they think, oh, he's smoking weed, man, the guy's out of his mind, he's talking for an hour on eye floaties, he's mentioned LSD, did it. You know what? I've done a lot of LSD, right? I smoke a lot of weed, there's no doubt about that, but I can't blame the LSD for people tobogganing, right? I just promote the news, right? And the eye floaty thing, it's an awareness we all need to be aware of. And it's not the acid that gave me the eye floaties. Most people get it. And I know there's a lot of people like, it's a big condition. Well, it's a mental disorder. And we were touching light on that earlier about how you're basically like a Charles Manson if you get eye floaters. I've had eye floaters. I've had to fight my Charles Manson side of me when I'm talking with certain people in public. It's like the Charles Manson in me wants to come out, and I have to fight that because it is a mental disease that I've got. When I get the eye floaties, especially like, remember robbing the bank, the eye floaties told me to do it. there's lots of people I've talked with that have done horrible, horrific things because of floaties. And, you know, we won't get into Germany and all that, but I think there's a correlation with the floaties. I do want to say there's somebody that's floaty. He was just
I got a couple, I got a few of them.
He knows all about floaties too, so this is going to go on part 2 because people got to know about this. Yeah. People think about it. You said I was, you know, he approached me and was like, floaties.
Tell me more.
They're really annoying. I hate it when I see it. It's right up here and I gotta look for it. It's up there.
Well, if you watch this video, it's going to prove you wrong. You probably see one right there. John, you got any input on floaties?
On what?
Floaties?
Do I have any input?
Yeah.
On iPhones.
Floaties.
iFloaties.
Have you ever had an floaty? It's like 10 out of 50 guys. You get floaties?
Oh, okay, the little like, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Like, you see that little dot?
That's right.
Those are molecules or some damn shit. I don't know what's going on. There's dust on my eyeball.
Dust on the eyeball. Well, what happens if I was to tell you it was a conspiracy?
It looks like little balls of plasma, and they're like fucking big, and then they shrink, and then they shrink, and then you get further away, and then disappear. Further away, and then disappear.
See, that's another floaty kind of thing. Do you ever get floaties? No.
It's not with my eyes open. Like, as soon as I close it. I think it's like.
See, there's another. Yeah.
DMT I get.
Yeah, probably.
I do.
Oh. Do you find that floaties impede on Christmas? No? Floaties don't impede on Christmas festivals?
I did. I can hear it actually.
Floaties?
About iPhones?
Floaties. You know those things?
Are
Have you ever had an floaty?
Like, dig.
See, girls get floaties too.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No. Yeah?
Yeah.
I got them. I have them. Why are you filming it?
Because it's a documentary I'm doing on floaties.
On iFloaties, okay.
Yeah, it's
they
an
look
hour
like
long.
Little squiggles?
Yeah. They can be.
Merry Christmas!
They can be squiggles, they can be dots, they can be cobwebs.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. Imagine seeing a
Those
cobwebs.
ones. That's kind of creepy.
Mine are like little amoebas.
Little
Yours are
amoebas?
what?
Little amoebas. They're not even exist.
Yeah.
Amoebas
they look
can't
like
be
that
killed.
too.
Did you know
Sometimes
that?
They look like little worms.
They're not amoebas, they just look like it.
How do you know they're not amoebas?
They're floaties.
Yeah, toaster oven lines. They're multicolored. They're pretty cool. Those squiggly lines like that.
Toaster oven lines, oh yeah.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Since it's Christmas, I did want to talk about certain stories that have been left out of the Bible and the whole Christmas stories. Like you have your Christmas stories of the Jesus days where you had 3 wise guys. Right? They had gifts for Jesus. They all had gifts. But there was a missing wise guy. Right? They don't talk about that. Because this missing wise guy had a gift also for the newborn son. Right? And so there's 4 wise guys. But they all knew what each other were going to get the newborn son, right, for his birthday, his birthing day, because they didn't want to get the same gift. So they all, you know, knew what they were going to get him. They're like, I'm going to get him myrrh, frankincense. You even had this other guy, he's a kid, a boy, who like banged the shit out of his drum and stuff. He, I don't ever know what ever happened to him, like his grandkids and stuff, if they got better at the drum, but I heard it just pissed the neighbors off. But it was still a good gesture, you know. I don't know the full story behind it, but let's get back to the missing wise dude. So what had happened was, following the North Star, these guys used to follow stars because they didn't have drones and stuff. Like nowadays, you can't follow a star because it's a drone. There's drones everywhere. On my Christmas hat. Okay, isn't it wonderful? So we're following the drones, or Starlink or whatever. You know, there's all kind. We don't even know. We can't follow nothing no more. It's just out of control. But these guys they're really wise. Like they knew exactly where to follow this and where the the boy that was born, Jesus, was even at. They didn't have GPS. And that probably would have helped the missing wise guy. But anyway, he was following the North Star. Boom. But he was following an ice floaty. So he got lost. It was like up in the Arctic, way up Timbuktu, cold Timbuktu. He only had sandals on. He had a gift. And he had this kind of roby thing. Like what the Celts wear now. The Celts kind of copied these guys. And, you know, of course, with generations, we started plaiding things and making things look a little cooler, right? But anyway, we don't know what happened to this guy. He's probably still frozen up in the ice to this day. They don't talk about it, but we're trying to figure out what his gift was. Like, I think it was a box that he just carved away from some lonely old tree, wherever. Like, I know those guys didn't have many trees around in those days, right? So, we're trying to figure out the gift, and it would really help if we knew what happened to that gift. It's pretty important, but we'll never know because we never found the guy. Like they didn't have food, they didn't have nothing, and GPS probably would have helped, right? And there's another story they had left out of the Bible and stuff. What it was his name was Enoch. I think his name was Enoch. Or they could have nicknamed him, but whatever. It's a pretty weird name. Like, who would name their kid Enoch? But anyway, Enoch was Noah, the guy who built the big boat that had 2 of everything on it. It was a really good shipwright, like, because they had like elephants on there and stuff. They had to make the ribs really strong, all kinds of gussets and old growth wood. Like, the wood had to have been really strong. Like, super cool guy, like, to build a boat where you can have 2 of everything. And elephants particularly weigh a lot. Probably had rhinos on there. Rhinos weigh a lot. So the guy was brilliant. But anyway.
Yeah, that's the boat in the background there. Yeah, it's that one.
His great-great-grandfather, Enoch, which is like the grandson to Adam, or somehow they're related somehow. I don't quite know how they're related, but they're related. Enoch got flown up in a ice floaty, right? They call them UAPs now or whatever, but they're basically just ice floaties. And he went up to the universe, got to check that out, came back, and tried to tell the story about, hey man, I got brought up in some ice floaty, and it showed me the world, the universe. There's other planets out there, right? They're aliens, like almost like this guy, but they had big eyes, just right like that. He was describing them, and they flew on these ice floaties. He was like accompanied by a few of these alien-looking guys, right? So he came back down. The churches disbanded him. That's what these represent. Like ice floaty, UFO, UAPs, whatever you want to call them. It's basically ice floaties. India, they call them Brahmanas, right? In English equivalency, because you got to translate it into to Greek. Romanic. Romanic translation, then Romanic into English, and the equivalency is ice floaties, right? So these are some stories that have been left out. It is a conspiracy by the Vaticans, the Pope dudes. They've kept this locked up, like Da Vinci Code. This is exactly like the Da Vinci Code. They don't want us to know about UAPs, ice floaties, how they're wanted, right? Right? Enoch, the missing wise guy, and what his gift was. I'm sure somebody could have went out looking for him and at least figured out what the gift was, right? Because it's pretty important. We've been hearing for thousands of years what the newborn son got as gifts, but they're not talking about what he didn't get as a gift. And the other story they left out, which is really important because we need to know the history of mankind. So in the, like in the beginning days of people, there was a Eve. It's like the first chick there ever, right? And she ate an apple. Like, she just got a rib. The dude just gave her a rib, said, here's a rib. You're gonna live an awesome life. Just don't eat that apple, right? The eye floaties. There's two kinds of eye floaties. There's the good one that rests on one shoulder, then there's the evil one that's on the other shoulder. Or not shoulder, like, it looks like it's in the shoulder, just the way the peripheral vision goes. Back then anyway, this is how it goes. They had two eye floaties, a good one and a bad one. So they were like kind of cross-eyed, trying to follow what these floaties, where they were going. But the evil one, the bad one, told this chick to eat the apple. Right? She ate the apple, she got busted, and then the lessons were being taught to generations ahead of her. So they didn't trust chicks to eat apples up until the 60s, when women started fighting for the rights to be able to eat apples and stuff, right? Because before they weren't allowed to eat apples. It's just not going to happen. The point is, this was all left out of the history books, right? They don't talk about it, right? They just say, oh, the devil told her to do it. Disguise himself as some serpent. Well, that serpent is an eye squiggly line. That's the thing. We think it's a serpent. It looks like a serpent, but it's a squiggly line one, like the one I get. You get the cobwebs. The devil can come in a spider, right? But when we refer to the devil, we're referring to the eye floaty, right? I'm sure the good one was like the round circle, the ball of light. Go to the light, go to the light. Where do you think that term comes from? Right? When you die, you're going to that light. That's an eye floaty. Yeah, I'm a really good investigator. This eye floaties has helped me with the investigations and learning investigations. I've become a better investigator than my ex-wife. And what I have just stumbled upon is a quantumization of eye floaties. So people don't understand what that means. Eye floaties are quantum. They're quantumly entangled with each other. Like, for example, if I'm in Siberia and you're in the Philippines, no, I'm in the Philippines, you're in Siberia. It's cold. I hate the cold. So yeah. And your eye floaty goes 30 degrees east. And I even got the compass rose here, I'll show you. Just so I don't get lost, because after that missing wise guy, everybody's got to have one of these, so you don't get lost, right? Because we learn from his mistake. Anyway, I know 30 degrees east, mine's going to go 30 degrees east. They're quantumly entangled-sized. I'll show you a picture of this. Check this out. Yeah, see, this is proof here. See those yin-yangs? That's actual pictures of quantum entanglement. You see they're kind of like 69ing it, right? That's the way it is. Then we see the other ones. You see those eye floaties, how they're interconnected? They got this energy. They always know what each other are going to do. Like I said, you're in Siberia, I'm in the Philippines, and look, they're still connected. Right there. And that's one, two, like, that's my eye floaty on the right. I'm in the Philippines, and yours is on the left. And yeah, you see how they're entangled there? Yeah, and on the bottom you can see where that dude was talking about the plasma shrinkage balls. Yeah, right on the bottom. Yeah, so yeah, it's pretty wild, eh? That, there's the quantum entanglement stuff, right? Carl Jung went really deep into this stuff. Synchronicities, right? You get like two grandfather clocks coming together. These are like eye floaties, and wonky, but you put them side by side, they get synchronistic, right? Like that bridge in the States that collapsed. What happened was everybody's walking on the bridge and they get synchronized naturally, and the bridge collapsed. Like synchronicities can be dangerous, like in that point, but eye floaties are synchronistic. See, now the thing is, if I had a watch when I was born. My mother had a watch, and we had them timed exactly the same. And we come back years later. I'm 48. Come back now, compare clocks. They're going to be different. They're going to be off a little bit. And why this is because I'm taller, right? I move faster, so therefore time is slower for me, right? Little people that that are under 6 feet tall, whatever. I'm 6'2", so I move faster than a little person. If a little person's walking, their time speeds up. It's faster. So when we get our clocks, and same with when our eye floaties, like theirs is a little faster, but it's just microseconds, like totally tiny, right? So these little people, so if you had a little person walking beside me and we're at the exact same speed, our eye floaties get synchronistic, right? So that's the thing. Okay, I'm getting kind of bummed out with this all. I'm trying to do this documentary. I have pride within learning about eye floaties because I think it's essential to understand the true facts. As being like I'm a media guy, I'm becoming influential. But there's hate mail coming towards me in my Gmails. Yeah, it seems hateful anyway. There's a lot of them that seem nice, like they're calling me a misogynist, which I think is a compliment. Like, what woman wouldn't want a dude to misogynize her, right? You can ask my wife. Like, I'll let her talk long enough that you can ask her that I dig deep into the tissue, right? I even get the elbow in there. She'll tell you. And then, get the knots out because she works really hard, right? She's got to support me, But, so, I give her the massage because I'm a stay-at-home dad with no kids. There's a cat. But I've decided, to stay-at-home dad. So they're calling me a misogynist for it. She's grateful. She'll tell you because I let her talk all the time, right? I dig deep. So I'm not hurted by that. So good try on that. That's a compliment. You wish you had a dude that'll misogynize you. Dig right deep there. Second of all, people are calling me a racist because I mentioned in a conversation that my eye floaty's proud to be white, like it's white eye floaty. Some people got different eye floaties, but I think majority is white. I don't know. We should get everybody together because scientifically, I'm sure you can have a black one, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Eye floaties don't discriminate between color, but they're predominantly dominant. Like I said, they're bigger, they're dominant. And when a woman takes it on, as we had that discussion, what happens is she takes on a masculine role because the eye float is dominant. So it takes over her genes, and she messages me and this hateful stuff, right? That I'm a misogynist, that I'm racist. My eye floaty is proud to be white, and that's just the way it is. My eye floaty didn't enslave anybody, personally, and nobody else's eye floaties have enslaved. Eye floaties don't enslave people, right? People enslave people, right? All kinds of colors been enslaving all kinds of people. Slav. So don't blame my eye floaties, right? My eye floaty is proud to be white, straight. It likes girls, and it's dominant. So stop the hate, right? Because my eye floaty ain't hating. Yeah, I deliberately have it dark in here, right? I'm personifying the moment. I just checked an email. There are a few emails, and people were bringing up something from a video from when I was young, like 3 years ago about having kids in my bilge making me a cologne line product, or a couple products, pretty cool products, and I mentioned them in the video. There was a couple videos, but Le Diesel for Men and Old Bilge Spice, and like they're totally great ideas. And when I did the video, it was like I was promoting myself. Like, I'm a wicked promoter. I promoted myself good enough for these people to recognize me and say, hey, you mentioned about the kids in the bilge and the galley slaves chained to the galley, right? Not only was I really promoting the cologne, but it was just a weird video that I had done one day, and they took it. Yeah, now they're trying to bring that up. The kids are happy. They get a bath every day, fair wages, right? I feed them. The galley slaves, first of all, their mothers didn't want them, right? They tried to jump over a few times, and they didn't even try to take the kids. They just, I don't know why, right? I don't know. I'm a bad cook. That's why I need in-house galley slaves. And now there's an uproar with these women saying, that's just not right. And so my defense had nothing to do with iFloaties. They didn't make me, because iFloaties don't believe in sweatshops for cologne and all that kind of stuff. Galley slaves, iFloaties are not sailors. They kind of sail in the eyeball, right? Yeah, so, yeah, I guess they kind of sailors in the eyeball. There's liquid in there. On that ferry. So, I gotta get her a gift. She's been gone a week, and I know that iFloaties are dominantly masculine. They're dudes. They really like women. Like that whole thing with the first chick and her eating the apple and stuff has nothing to do with dominant iFloaties, because iFloaties want us to do good things for our women. Remember, I'm a stay-at-home dad, right? There's no kids. It's a kitty. Kitties are very difficult to take care of. This one particularly likes to be petted all the time and stuff. So I gotta find something really nice for my wife. She's been gone for a week, and iFloaties like when we do good things for our wives. Oh, right here. She likes the forest stuff. This is perfect. I got something she's totally gonna love. You know what this is? Like, she hasn't been home in a week. She's gonna love this. You know what it is? It's good for a broom. I'm gonna make her a broom, because, like, I know I'm stay-home dad, but you know, I watch movies. That's my job, is to give them movies, like good ones or bad ones. She's got to know which ones are good. Get the Rotten Tomatoes. I do that, and I tend the cat. She's the breadwinner, and that's why I gotta get her something nice. There's broom stuff. She's gonna love this. Yeah. Oh wow, really?
Oh, I got a Halifax. Just back next to it.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh,
Big island.
Halifax.
The island, guys. All right in Halifax. She got a big smile on her face.
Yeah, I know, because she knows what I got her. She knows I got her a gift. Hey, baby.
Hi, baby.
I got you something.
Oh, wow, how wonderful. Let's burn it.
That was work, didn't it?
Well, it's going to be used as a broom. She's been gone for a week, so.
Oh, my. Ow. 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 You're the best misogynist.
I am going to end this video. I swear to God.
I know you guys don't want me to. This has like been the best thing ever, but I'm gonna have to end it. But I did want to make a mention that there's this whole UAP epidemic going on. People are like, oh, it's Project Blue Balls, or it's military drones or whatever. No, it's floaties, right? We gotta understand, floaties are taking over, right? It's not it's not blue balls. It's not weird projects from the government. It's not the Russians or Chinese people. It's floaties. It's a serious time, and it's a good thing this documentary is coming out, because I'll probably get really famous off this. Like, everybody's gonna know that's the floaty guy. He warned us, right? But floaties aren't bad. Like, remember throughout this whole documentary, we learned they're not racist, they're not bad, all this. I'm not going to go through an hour of floaty discussion, because it'll take me an hour to go through it, and then I'm just repeating myself. But you probably didn't listen the first time, right? Just skip it, whatever. But I'm going to tell you, it's not blue balls. Those, and if you do see blue balls, right, or you have the blue balls, it's a form of floaty too, right? So just know they're taking over. Yeah, and before I finish, I would like to also mention there are certain people, and you can find them in your neighborhood or wherever, that still have that inverted, cross-eyed floaties. The one that looks at the evil on the right, demon, that's sitting on the shoulder, and then the good on the left. No, I think the demon might be on the left. Usually the demon's on the left. I think that's right. That sounds right. So the demon on the left, that eye goes that way. It's looking up. And then the good one's always looking at that one. And those people from the Adam and Eve days, that's how they were. Right up, probably for about another couple hundred years anyway, right? Till people started focusing their, and giving up on the good and the bad, and they're just doing their thing, right? Or their eye floaties go that way, so we try to chase it that way to the evil, or some to the good. You get really good people that only look at the good, right? So their eyes are going that way. You can tell when you ever see anybody in there. Follow their eyes, and generally they're following the floaty, and if their eyes go that way a lot, which is my right, your left, right? Or this left, your right, right? Because we're backwards here. All right, anyway, let's get on with this. There's a lady in a TV show in Britain, and she's got this same syndrome, and you'll see people, and you can see them in your neighborhood. One goes that way, one eye goes that way. It's like, I can't really do it. It hurts to even try, but you can see her for yourself. She's on a TV show called Downtown Abbey, and some older working girls, wink wink, they're working girls, obviously, or working women. They're older, right? So they got a show with them all, right? I think one of them's kind of hot. She's probably about 70, but she's, you can tell she's a looker. So that's why I originally watched it. And then I saw that lady with the floaties going one each way, or the eyes going that way, which are chasing floaties generally. And it's quite the show, and you'll see her, right? You'll see her. It's pretty wild. You'll probably like the show too. It's hard to understand. They talk really funny. Like I'm learning some Brittanyese off these people, and I learned Ke'o, right? So anyway, watch the show and you'll see her. You'll see it's still embedded in the fiber of some people, right? From the ancient times, from that Adam and Eve, right? But they're direct lineage. We're not. We've kind of like, at that point, after that chick ate that apple, I think like a couple kids later, we just somehow jumped DNA-ically and got our own DNA and just became a whole awesome poo human people, right? Like a different tree. Like all of a sudden the seed went poo, but changed in midair and became something else, right? I'm figuring this out. And so yeah, anyway, watch that show. She's got the eyes, eye floaties. Oh, yeah. And one more thing I wanted to mention. I know it's so hard to put all the eye floaty thing into 1 hour. So I keep going, oh yeah, this, well yeah, that. Eye floaties, you don't get them all the time, right? So when they're gone, they go to other people, right? They share the eye floaties. And what can happen is eye floaties can inhabitize little people, kids, right? And these little people, they touch everything with their grubby little hands. They lick their feet, and they get germs and bacteria everywhere. So when the eye floaties come back, they can be carrying like colds. Like I got a cold, and that's what happened. I got it through my eye floaty because it touched a little person with grubby little hands, right? So it's something to keep notice, to try to wash your eye floaties out with Visine, right? And that helps, right? If you just get the eye floaty back, squirt some Visine in there, or vinegar. Vinegar works really well. This is really the end of the video, but I am here at the place where eye floaties die. Eye floaties die. Everything in the material universe dies. And this is where they come to die. See all the little eye floaties? The bigger ones, like these guys, back in the way days ago, back to the just after the Eve days, you know, the chick that ate the apple, Adam, that first dude, just after them, like they lived for a long time, and they were giants. They don't talk about it, but they had big eye floaties, like these guys, like these rocks here, big eye floaties, but these are dead. So I'm here to give respects to all the eye floaties. Like, look at them all. This is a whole graveyard of eye floaties. Some of them were super giants. I think those eye floaties were the same people that made the pyramids. Anyway, I'm here to pay my respects and end this video. Let's just bow our heads for the eye floaties.